Welcome to iReviews, the show where I review Marvel and DC comics, and today I review Civil War II Amazing Spider-Man Issue 2. The comic begins at Long Island City, where we see Spider-Man handling with a group of people piloting a Quadronic Man. They shoot at sleep gas at Spider-Man, but it has no effect on him. One of the pilots tells Spider-Man that Quadronic Man has fought Hulk to a standstill. Spider-Man knows as he webs both of the suit's hands to the ground and climbs up to the head and tells them for someone who could build and pilot this thing, they're smart enough to save their own lives. The pilot thinks he's going to kill him, but Spider-Man tells him no, but they have to check their thermocouple readings. The pilots see that the suit is overheating and plan to get out. As Spider-Man gets each of the pilots out, he tells them to guide the robot into the river, and they do, saving them and Spider-Man. Spider-Man swings around New York with Ulysses and tells him that was a big win, and Ulysses saved lives because of his vision. Ulysses wonders about that and wonders what Spider-Man will do about the vision he had about Clay and Cole, and gives Spider-Man the idea to just tell Clay it so he can prevent what he does in the vision. Spider-Man thinks that will only set him off and make the vision come true. Besides, Clay hasn't done anything wrong and fears that he may need to keep an eye on Clay. Besides, Spider-Man has seen Clay has good intentions and has been sincere about reforming, but he guesses he really doesn't know what's going on yet. We cut earlier in the day as we see Clay walking somewhere in New York. One of Clay's old friends, Sully, sees him and wonders why he's here. Clay explains that he's only here visiting his folks, and Sully tells Clay that he can buy him breakfast with the money he made from his jobs. Clay tells him no and explains that he doesn't want to hear it, and explains that basically talking to him is a violation of his promotion, and wonders if Sully will understand. Sully understands and tells him he's happy for Clay for living the lush life with a corporate job. We go to Clay's parents' home as his parents are explaining that he used to be Peter Parker in the science fair. Now they feel like that Peter Parker is just using Clay as an office drone. Clay explains Parker pays him well and most of the money he collects is in his trust fund until he's off parole. His mom tells him that Clay should start a business of his own. With all the talents he has, it's just a waste to keep working for Parker. But Clay explains that he has been working on his own things, but most equipment is expensive and it's hard to get people to back him knowing of his criminal past, and asks maybe if his parents can give him a loan to back him up. His parents tell him that they've been trying to save money for retirement and tell him to ask Parker to help him. Clay tells him he can't. Parker has helped him. He did the biggest favor in his life and has been believing in him, but his parents think that Parker's just using Clay and treating him like a child. Clay doesn't care what they say and tells him that the reason he is here is so he can look for Grandma's ring, with the parents being surprised and thinking Clay is going to get married. Clay informs his parents he hasn't popped the question and feels because of Donna he wants to be prepared. Clay shows them a picture of Donna and explains she also works at Parker Industries and she's a single mother with a child. But his mom tells him that she's just after Clay's money, with Clay telling them he doesn't care. He's happy, and besides, Grandma left the ring to him and leaves his parents, telling them he's going to work. We go to Donna's home where she tells Clay that her son has been excited and happy for Clay since day one. He thinks of Clay as a father figure. Clay tells her that's nice of him to think like that, but he thinks it's too soon, and Donna thanks Clay for understanding her. But she tells him that he's a good man, but she worries if her son learns about his past. She tells him that he is almost a teenager and nothing is secret on the internet, and feels like they need to end this. Donna likes Clay, but she needs to think of her son first. Clay understands, and Donna thanks him for this and tells him that this is harder than she thought it would be. Later we see Clay at work discussing this breakup with his friend Rowan. Rowan understands and tells Clay it's going to be alright, he just needs to let it go. But Clay yells at Rowan, telling him he has a perfect life. What does he know how he feels? His life is ruined. Clay apologizes to Rowan and tells him he didn't mean to lash out at him like that, but Rowan understands and tells him to get his game face on. The boss is coming. Harry comes into the room and asks them about the flying car project, with Clay telling him that the new crash detection system is performing greatly. But just as he's talking with Harry about this, they see Spider-Man walk with Ulysses. Harry tells them that he needs to go check with security. Rowan tells Clay that his life isn't over as long as Spider-Man has his back. Clay knows and asks if Rowan knows who that kid is, with Rowan telling him no, he doesn't. Rowan thinks maybe Spider-Man is showing the kid around, but Clay doesn't know and thinks on the last time he met the kid. Clay sees Spider-Man and Kid look at him and wonders what's going on. Clay thinks the kid may know who he was, but he wonders why Spider-Man's looking at him a lot now. Later we see Peter walk into Clay's office. Clay thought Peter was still in Shanghai, but Peter tells him he just flew in. And Clay tells Peter about the NYPD project, but Parker is not worried about that. Peter tells Clay he can talk to him anytime he wants, if he has any problems or concerns, and tells Clay the door is always open for them to meet. Clay thanks Parker and tells him it means a lot. Clay is thinking that Parker had a conference with the kid and is thinking maybe the kid told Parker about something, and Clay is going to figure out what's going on. We go to Peter's office where Clay is investigating what Spider-Man and the kid discussed about. He uses the retroactive recorder to pick up the sound waves still in the room, and hears from the recorder what the kid was talking about with Spider-Man, and Clay is shocked what he hears. But just as Clay is learning this, Spider-Man walks into a room, wondering what's going on. Spider-Man sees he's using the recorder, but Clay tells Spider-Man he knows what he was talking about, and tells him he can't believe that kid. Clay has made many things for the company, but after all that, he's gonna believe that kid who thinks he's gonna go bad? Spider-Man tries to explain that the kid has powers, but Clay won't hear it. He doesn't care if it's anything major. He has followed Spider-Man since day one. He has helped him fight bad guys. He's followed the rules. But Spider-Man tells him he has actually used Clash Tech more than once, and now he has broken into Parker's office. But Clay won't have it. He tells Spider-Man he quits and to stay out of his life, but Spider-Man fears that he may have caused this vision to come true. Elsewhere, we go to Moyen's social club, where Clay discusses with his friends about what's going on and the tech that he's made. His friends are surprised and happy for him, but they think it's not fair that Parker's just treating him like a servant. But Clay tells them he isn't treated like a servant and goes to get more drinks for his friends. A mysterious man tells Clay he overheard what Clay was talking about with his friends and tells him he has been where he is. His ex-partner stole all of his work and became rich off all the things he made. Now he's old and in poor health, but Clay doesn't know who he is, but the man introduces himself as Mendel Storm. Mendel tells Clay he has been waiting for him, and they feel like they both have mutual interests, but Clay isn't interested. Mendel explains that he knows Clay and he needs his help to get into the Parker Industries database, and tells Clay that he's going to share the profit with Clay, no pointless histrionics, and can give Clay the life of success he deserves. Clay still says no, but Mendel explains that he knows Clay has debts to a tinkerer, someone who specializes in making equipment for criminals. Clay is wondering how he knows, and Mendel tells him to think carefully of what he's doing, and think how much he has to gain and how much he has to lose, and tells Clay to think about his offer and to give him a call. He's been added to Clay's contacts and gives Clay a day to decide. We go back to Parker Industries where we see Parker is afraid of what Clay is going to do. He tells Harry that he's called his parents, but he hasn't heard anything, but they told him Clay has been working on his own projects and has been looking for someone to back him, but he couldn't because of his parole. He just wishes he could come back. Parker tells Harry would have backed him, but Harry thinks that Clay would have thought that he would have been on a leash because of Parker. But Parker tells him that he had to because of his parole, and he's been trying to protect the rest of his investors, but Parker feels like he messed up. Harry gets what Parker is saying, and he's been where Clay is now, and is not going to criticize what Parker is doing, but he's also going to have to see some insight with Clayton. Harry thinks Clay was clinging on to his trust because he thought he had proof he had a second chance, but now he thinks he doesn't because he doesn't believe in Parker anymore. Parker knows and wants to give Clay a second chance, a raise, even though he is still on parole. But Harry is still worried if Clay will be addicted back to the power and the attention, but Parker tells Harry he doesn't want it to come to Clay going back as a villain. He still has faith that Clay can do good. We go back to Clay's apartment as he shaves his face and looks in the mirror, wondering what he should do. Clay gives a call to a tinkerer and tells him he wants to make an order for him, and tell him he's going to pay with the Cayman Island account, and tells him to make it his top priority. The next morning, Clay gets the package and puts on his new costume. Then he gives Mendel a call, telling him he wants to meet up. Clash is now back. Civil War II Amazing Spider-Man issue 2 was another great issue, and I think this issue was more interesting than the last issue. Like the first issue, I liked how we didn't see any hero versus hero action yet, just Spider-Man having his own problems with one of Ulysses' visions coming true. Also, I found it interesting that this issue focused more on Clay, and we kind of saw him go from a great guy to maybe back to a bad guy. I say maybe because maybe he'll rethink and help Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know, there are many possibilities, but I really don't know what to say. But I really did like how we saw it more focus on Klain than Spider-Man, the main hero of the Civil War II story. I like this seeing it focused on Klain and him trying to focus on having a normal life and maybe trying to get his own company running up. And we kind of saw him go downhill, which was kind of sad. I mean, I could see this in real life. Someone who has a criminal past, he talks with his parents about making his own company. His parents worry about who will back him and worry who will back him because of his criminal past. I just see this somehow in real life, minus the superhero stuff. I like how in this issue we more or less see Spider-Man kind of be a supportive character in this issue. I mean, it's kind of what it feels like. I mean, he wants to help Klain with his issues and try to prevent Klain to do something he doesn't regret. Overall, I feel like there's nothing else to say. This was another great issue with great art and an interesting plot, more focusing on the villain of the book than the main hero. I know in some places that isn't good for a series, but for this, it fits in great with the story that's telling. Overall, I give this an 8.5 out of 10 and highly recommend this issue. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Iron reviews, and check out my Twitter at IronHulk018. My name's August, and till then.